Hey everybody, it's Tasha from Tasha Quilts, and today we're talking about 2025 quilting goals, the best kind of goals there are to set. I'm going to talk to you about the goals I'm setting for myself and some tips and tricks I use when setting up realistic quilt expectations for the year. I do like to set goals each year for myself when it comes to everything, but definitely for quilting. But for 2024 was my first time setting quilt goals. And so that was before I had a YouTube channel, but I set some pretty basic goals for myself. I wanted to learn how to FPP, foundation paper piece, and I wanted to write a quilt pattern. So I just had two goals for the year and I did both of them. I took a pattern writing course and I actually published two quilt patterns. So check. Really liked those, designed those. I thought I would love being a quilt pattern writer. I do like writing patterns, but I mostly like designing quilts and sewing quilts and less on the writing. So I expect that maybe I'll give pattern writing a go here and there in the future, but I don't see myself completely dedicating my time to pattern writing. The second was foundation paper piecing. And you may remember that I just recently completed a foundation paper piecing block for a guild challenge. I'll post the video here in the corner. And I really ended up enjoying that. So that actually might carry forward into some of my 2025 goals, as you'll see when we get there in a few minutes. What I love more than probably setting goals is writing them down and making lists and starting a fresh planner each year. I don't always do the best of maintaining those planners this year, but this year's the year. You're going to hold me accountable, right? We're going to be checking in. But I did come up with a cute little sewing tracker that I have for free on my website if you're interested in. And you can see it here, and I'll also put a big shot of it on the screen. And this is a way that I'm going to track some of my quilty goals. My first goal is going to be to finish 4 whips or project kits that I have. At first, the goal was going to be finish all of my whips and project kits. But as I started listing them out, I realized that was a bigger project than I was willing to take on, because I think it's important to set goals, but also make sure you're not setting so many goals that it's unachievable. So when I started to make a list of all of the either whips I have in process or kits that I have, and the list was quite long. So I'm kind of going to walk through this list and show you what I have. This probably is not a complete list, and I expect that I'll find more, but I think this is the majority of them. And I have decided that I want to try to finish 4 of these items throughout the year. So I have what is called the timeout quilt. That quilt, I marked all of these snowball corners that you need to complete, and I did not realize I did it. This is like many years ago. I did not realize that I had used like invisible ink that air dries invisible. And within the next, I spent hours marking all of these triangles. And when I came back the next day, all the lines were gone. And I stuck that sucker in timeout, and I've never looked at it again. Another thing that I want to kind of finish is I cut out all the stuff for a witch hat. I was going to finish a witch hat back in October. That never happened. But I would like to finish that witch hat before Halloween comes next year. I started the Camp Star quilt by Plains and Pine. I have my colors picked out. I believe I even have it all cut. I started it as part of a quilt along. It's a baby size. So that is sitting on a shelf waiting to be finished right now. Another whip that I have in my sewing room is these Night Foley ghosties. They're so cute. They're in florals. I also purchased an embroidery kit from Missouri Star Quilt Company. That was an impulse buy. I do believe I've opened the box and there's no fabric in there. So I think that put the kibosh on it. So I kind of need to figure that out and get the fabric here so that I could even start this or decide what I'm going to embroider these things on. I also was purchasing the Modern Makes boxes. I ordered a 6-month subscription, so I got 6 boxes. I don't think she does this anymore, the physical boxes. I made 1 of the 6. I started a second one, and I believe 4 of them are untouched. Those all count as individual whips as far as I'm concerned, or kits. So I have 5 of those sitting on my shelf. Many years ago, I bought a pre-cut shoe fly kit from a local quilt store. This quilt no longer really suits my tastes. I don't really like making a single block quilt. However, this is something that I think maybe someone in my family would appreciate if I made it. It might be something that I can auction off for a local not-for-profit that I support, or it is something that I would consider donating to my quilt guild. So in addition to wanting to finish some of these whips, there's a strong possibility that a finish could end up being a donate. I also purchased a flying geese cabin kit from Missouri Star many years ago. And here it sits. So I also have 2 kits that haven't even come in the mail yet that are already on this list. So I finished that FPP block that I was talking to you about earlier. And I guess I was just in the ripe for shopping mode. That Christmas money was just flying. And I decided to treat myself. I went a little too crazy, self-admittedly. I was listening to Shannon from Slay Arts talk to the guy who sews on his weekly live, and they were talking about legit kits, and I decided to go to the website, and I found these 2 kits, the shrooms and the skeleton, and fell in love with them. Love them both. And so they were both on sale. So, I mean, girl math. I purchased both. Impulse buy for sure. I would definitely like to see at least one of those finish this year. That's an expensive impulse buy, and I got to make good on that. I've also signed up for the Cotton Cuts Flyaway Mystery Quilt, and I do plan on keeping up with that. So it's a kit I don't have yet, but it's a kit that's coming. So moving on to other goals that are not whips and kits that I already own. First, I would like to complete an on-point quilt. I think I already have the pattern and the fabric picked out, and it is something that I might even want to start as soon as tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. I want to learn how to use the serger I purchased. So this year I purchased a serger secondhand from Facebook Marketplace. That was so fun. I think I foresee more Facebook Marketplaces purchases in the future. I can see why people like it. And I would like to actually learn how to use that serger. I would like to organize the mess that is my closet and get that organized. When I'm organizing my closet, I'm also planning on downsizing my fabric. I started sewing back in my 20s, and I bought a lot of fabric back then that is either not my style anymore, not really quilting quality, nothing that I ever really see myself using. Therefore, if I don't love it and don't foresee a plan for it, it's time for it to go. I would like to hand quilt something. Doesn't have to be huge, but I would like to take a stab at hand quilting this year. And I also need some whip organization. So I know a lot of people use like little project boxes. I need to figure out how I'm going to be organizing my whips and get that going. That kind of goes hand in hand with the closet goal. I would also like to quilt some curtains. Or not even quilt curtains, just sew some curtains. They probably will not be quilted, but they will be probably patchwork curtains. I actually have a bare window right now with no curtains on it. I would love to see something there and to refresh some of the curtains in my house, but I would like to actually sew them myself. I would like to do a quilted sweatshirt. I actually bought a really nice hoodie off Amazon and have already started breaking it in, but it has not been adjusted at all. I'm considering seam ripping up the sides and adding some patchwork on the sleeves and then sewing it back up. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it, but I would love to do a quilted sweatshirt at some point this year. I'm also part of a modern quilt guild, and they have a challenge to use some techniques from one of the speakers that they've had brought into the guild. And I have not been a part of the guild for very long, but one of the speakers that did come in while I was there was Timna Tar. She's a very talented woman and gave a great lecture and immediately inspired me to go buy her book when I left that day. So I've had this book sitting here with the dream of doing a mosaic quilt, and I am going to use this book as the basis of that quilt guild challenge. I'm not saying that I'm going to make something huge, but I am going to make something, probably wall hanging size, nothing too big, but I do want to try out this technique. I'm very excited for that. And the last thing I want to do is a geometric quilt design. So I have been toying with, I have mentioned in the past that I've been really inspired by some Lego mosaics and these geometric shapes. And I would like to design a quilt just for me. It may involve many different techniques to get that job done, whether it's foundation paper piecing, English paper piecing, traditional piecing, curved piecing, applique. I just want to imagine a quilt and then find a way to make it happen. Originally, I was doing this through the lens of, I want to design a quilt to write a pattern to sell, but that is a little limiting because then you're like, if I want to sell a pattern, I have to make this easy to write. So I'm going to make that quilt just for me. Let's talk tips for setting quilty goals. The first tip I have for you is to not make too many goals, which I'm not 100% certain. I am taking my own advice here. But I say that because if you have plans for every single week and every single day of your journey, to me, that doesn't spark joy. right? Like I do want to get some of these things done, and these things I have set for goals, I'm excited to do, right? They're not like chores. It's not a to-do list. It's things I want to do. And this list helps me make sure I'm getting through the things I want to do. Make sure you're leaving time for that creativity to bloom and grow and take over when it needs to take over every now and again. Because remember, this is our fun time, right? It's not supposed to be work. I also recommend like a mix of creative goals and practical goals. So, obviously I have goals in here like organize the closet and downsize the fabric, right? I feel a weight on me. I haven't bought that. I think as far as like, especially as some other people are concerned, I don't have a huge stash, but I do know that a good half of my stash I'm never going to touch because, like I said, it's 20 years old and it's just not stuff I'm interested in anymore. So those practical goals make me feel good. Want to put that stuff to good use, and it also creates space and room for me to be organized and enjoy my space. So that is a practical goal, maybe not the most fun, but it needs to be done so that I can enjoy the other parts of my craft. And you should also track your goals because, like, how are you going to remember your goals and how are you going to know if you're achieving them? All right, friends, I've talked a lot today about my quilty goals, but you know what I love more than talking about my quilty goals is hearing about your quilty goals. So do me a favor, drop them in the comments, join my Facebook group, tag me on social media. I'm at Tasha Quilts everywhere. What are your quilty goals? What are we doing together this year? I can't wait to hear about it and see it. Hey friends, if you've made it this far, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to grab your free sewing trackers, link in the description. And don't forget, I'm live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, so come hang out. I hope you find some time to do something you love, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.